Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Monday, June 29th. Would you look at that? We're almost halfway through the year. Disclosure is moving along, and so are the attacks on good old Lou Elizondo. Well, Disclosure wouldn't be the same way without it. Sounds to me like some people got their frickin' feelings hurt, and they don't want Lou to be the new UAP czar. So let's go ahead. Before we get into that, let's welcome in the audience and see who the heck we have out there. Let's take a look at our participants and welcome into the live show. We've got Alpha Breeze in the chat along with Amiga Rules. I see Anne-Marie and April. Banana Bowie's out there along with Boomer Groomer, Eliza Teal and Elvis Road 10 and Firefly and First Contact is also in the chat. We got Frank Cathell, Geraldine DeRazio, Hudson Valley. Rana's out there. Good to see you. Immigrants, Jericho, Joey Spades, JP Six Gunner, and Kelly Bro with those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly, as always. Who else we have out there? Let's take a look. We got Kiwi DJ, Leslie, and Light Melinda. Where's Dark Melinda? Mr. Drews is out there along with Minnow Poo. Oh, we got Necessary Dialogue, Niles Guy, a resident Pitbull, and Peggy and Steve all the way from Florida. Good to see you two. Psychosomatic Insane is in the chat along with Push King. We got Rainbow Skim, Scooby Dooby Gooby. Shelly Montgomery is out there along with Steve Hines, Steve Mateo, Tamisha Bertrand, and Tech Money. Let's take a breath on that one. Oh, we already have Teresa Loves Our President along with Terrence M. Bunce, True Blood. Good to see you, Wasteland Wonder, Wendy Joe, Wolf Dog, and Yellow Tommy Tanker, also known as Andy. How about that? Let me jump into the studio solo and, sweaty nerds up there again. Mike. I thought I muted him. How the hell are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, and it seems like we have a lot to talk about tonight, unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
We kind of saw the writing on the wall yesterday to see where it was, and it's just been kind of cascading out ever since Ross did his wonderful podcast and decided to go after Lou again.
Yeah, for no real reason. So here we go again, round two.
But then when it starts up with Ross, everybody piles on it, if you know what I mean.
Of course, yes, of course they do.
Yeah. Dogpile, I think they call it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's one of the ways
it's
they
call it. Same bullshit, and now everyone's piling on, which is really funny because you and I have been talking before this news started about how Lou was the one that Christopher Mellon said recruited him in 2017 with the 3 videos.
Yep.
That came out to the New York Times with Leslie Keane and Ralph Blumenthal. So Lou has been at the forefront of this from day one.
Yeah.
And people don't give him credit for that, and they try to tear him down every chance they get.
Oh, they do, my friend. You know, they're even in some of the stuff we'll be getting into today, trying to blame James Clapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Lou and what he's got going on now and what was going on. But that was like back in 2010. It wasn't anything recent.
No, it was not. You're right.
All right.
So it's the same old bullshit, but they're really like cranking it up because, look, you and I have talked privately about this before the show. When disclosure from the government slows down, like it has now, we didn't get the drop last Friday. Maybe we'll get the drop next Friday, maybe not. When it starts to die down, they turn it personal and they go after Lou and us every chance they get. So here we go again.
At least we're left out of it this time.
Yeah, for now, but I think that may change. Oh, Jay just joined us. Good to have you, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to be here, guys.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get to this first clip of things we're going to be covering today. There's a bunch of more clips I've got here of actually Lou Elizondo being on, what do you call it, on the Hannity podcast. 3 little 1-minute clips for us to watch. So let's get to this first, and let's deal with all the stuff we've got to deal with, and we'll have some fun times. Ready,
yeah,
Mike?
we will.
Let's get up to this. Let's get to video full. Let me get this adjusted a little bit more and a little bit there. Okay, let's rock and roll, folks. Here we go.
It's pretty obvious
I'm not going to lie to you that the gentleman that I've been talking about, whom I suspect might be up for a big position, is Lou Elizondo.
Actually, you know what? He was just talking to him about him for a couple minutes. Let me find that clip. Let's bring that one up and let's turn back the clock a couple more minutes. We're about 18 minutes, and I think this comes in around 18 and a half minutes in. Let's take it from right here, and let's see where this goes. Here we go, folks.
The TTSA to the Stars Academy 2016, 2017 was an attempt by sections of, I think, a well-intentioned
Let me get a little bit further back.
Restrict that narrative. And this is what the Governance Committee and the UAP Science Advisory Committee are all about, notwithstanding, I believe, the good intentions of the people who would be part of those committees. I do think that there are people trying to impose blocks to try and slow down the momentum of disclosure. And I think
I'll pause on this one. I don't think they're trying to slow down the momentum of disclosure coming from the executive branch. They're trying to bring in people that can help and understand the tens of millions of files we have and how to quickly start getting through this, because we've got a little over 2.5 years before the timer's going to run out. Eh, Mike?
No, that's absolutely right, Thomas. You hit the nail right on the head. As soon as this administration, love it or not, is out of office, any momentum on this topic is going to be over and done with, like we've seen the past 80 years. We're going to get right back to that again. So here we go again.
Again, a lot of speculation, negative speculation coming from Ross, but we just want to, like we did before, keep it on the up and up. Here we go.
it has to do with the fact that they're trying to control the narrative to, I think, slow down the possibility of a revelation about crash retrievals.
Okay. But they've been talking about crash retrievals and biologics and everything for the longest time, so how are they trying to slow it down?
He's talking about the governance board and the, what's the other? The advisory.
Science Council.
Yeah, but the governance board is actually going to be there to try and speed this stuff up, not slow it down.
Dude, this guy, I hate to say, my summary of this is he's just trying to stay relevant.
Gotcha.
He's got a nice, shiny new studio. He's going to have to try to come up with some content to keep it.
Yeah. And what's the best way to do that with controversy?
And drama.
Yeah.
People like drama.
Here we go.
Get to the point where he was talking about Lou.
We will. It's got about a minute and a half because he was getting to it. This is the lead up to that. So this is decent.
Okay.
Obvious to me that the original intention of the TTSA to the Stars Academy 2016, 2017 was an attempt by sections of, I think, a well-intentioned group within the national security state that it was time to make some kind of controlled disclosure. And there's pushback all over at the moment. I don't think the national security state knows quite what to do. And I'm going to tell them right now what they need to do. They've got to stop this bloody nonsense where we have this ridiculous factional dispute happening within ufology, UAPology, where people are sniping at each other behind the scenes. It's pretty obvious, I'm not going to lie to you, that the gentleman that I've been talking about, whom I suspect might be up for a big position, is Lou Elizondo. And as you may have noticed in recent weeks, I have been quite delicately outspoken in my belief on previous Q&As that I think Lou needs to be more forthcoming about his past roles. And I like and respect
this video
a lot. And I think he's in a difficult position because he's bound by his security oath about what he can reveal about his past roles. I know he can't talk about it. It's a ridiculous situation. But there are people who bitterly resent and don't think it's a good idea that Lou be appointed to a position of power in UAP transparency because they think that he was part of a previous agenda that was essentially to try to control the narrative. to restrict what the public is entitled to know about the UAP disclosure. And
wait a minute. We wouldn't be
Pause this video.
I did. We wouldn't be at this point today, Mike, if it wasn't for Lou Elizondo. So how is he saying he's trying to keep disclosure from happening? That just doesn't make sense.
Oh, you don't get it? You didn't listen to what he said leading into this? I did. He first, before he mentioned Lou's name, what did he say? He said that he knows in ufology on social media that people in this community have been sniping with each other. What do you think he's talking about? Oh, and then he went into, and Lou Elizondo. Oh, why did he have to make that point before he brought up Lou's name? What does that tie into?
It almost
I don't know.
seems like
the
Mike,
troll war?
No, but it almost sounds like, Mike, he's the disinformation plant out there trying to go ahead and prevent Lou, who he says is his friend and he knows, from getting into that position by the way he's putting it.
Well, it sounds to me, without him coming right out and saying it, even though he almost did, he's bringing up all of the drama that you, me, and Lou were involved in on social media, and then he brought up Lou's name right after that. So he's trying to say, if they're considering Lou for such an important position as the alleged UAP czar position that hasn't been officially announced yet, he's trying to say that Lou would not be a good candidate for that because of all of the troll war drama that we were all involved in.
The other people who are bringing up and going up against this are people like Pavel from Psychoactivio, and you've got UAP Gerb and the new Ross guy coming from News Nation as well.
Yeah.
It seems like they've all got a thing for Lou and they want to get Grush into this, but really the person who's really got the best balls for this position, let's be honest, is Lou.
Oh, I know. Plus, listen, when we were dealing with the troll war, what was the first thing that came up that we discovered? All of this hatred that was against us and Lou was coming from these people who were associated at one point with DC Muscle Wolf. And we know how he feels about Lou for a long time now, including Ross Coulthart,
right,
who, if you remember, was very close with DC Muscle Wolf back during the Jake Barber days, looking into what was coming out from DC Muscle Wolf, and he was a proponent of that for a long time. So this anti-Lou tirade that he's about to go into, it's not justified, and if that's where he's coming from, I think it's pretty obvious to me where this is originating from, and I don't like it, not one bit.
Yeah. All right, let's play some more. Here we go. Actually, Syrup, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. So far, it sounds like Ross Coulthart is saying that, it's like nothing new, though. Like Lou has always said, it's a marathon. It's not a race. National security, blah, blah, blah. He's basically accusing them from so far of this like drip disclosure thing. Like that's nothing new. That's how I always understood it. Anyways, give Lou Elizondo amnesty and let's see what happens then. Let's see if he changes his tone a little bit. Mr. I know where a UFO is hidden, but ain't going to tell anybody.
Yeah.
Right. Good point, sir.
Last person who has their hand up. Actually, go ahead, Daryl, first.
I was just going to say this whole thing is kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, the ufology group that he's talking about is so small compared to the rest of the population. Why throw gasoline on this? Why bring this up? Unless you're politicking for somebody, and it's not going to make any difference. He's like the arsonist and the fireman. This reminds me of like the racism thing. Like, oh, everybody's racist in the country. No, they're not. He's just making shit up.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point, Daryl. Yeah, you know what? Let's see how far he goes with this. I'm going to be paying very close attention.
All right, here we go, a little bit more.
A lot of this was an intention by James Clapper, General James Clapper, to try and impose a narrative on the public domain using Lou as a frontman a highly urbane, articulate,
Wait a minute.
likable.
Using Lou as a frontman, Clapper left the administration and the government in 2010. So how was Clapper setting up Lou to do the stuff he was doing in 2017 up through today? It just doesn't make sense. How can he be?
No, you're right. It doesn't.
Okay, but he's sold on it, so here we go.
Man, to try to restrict what the public was told about crash retrievals. And it struck me over the years that I've been covering this issue that the story that we ran with David Grush really wrong-footed all of this. That all of a sudden David comes out and says, hang on a moment, we're not just arguing here about whether there are aliens or not. What we're talking about here is a crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, and I'm saying it's real, he says. And I think that did wrong foot that national security state attempt to try and provide a controlled disclosure. But I refuse to accept that the people like Lou Elizondo, who were part of that attempt at a controlled disclosure, were motivated by bad things. They're patriots. They love their country. And I've spoken to people in the Legacy Program who knew Lou. Lou, I know a lot of people, and they know you, and I know you can't speak about the role that you've held within the Legacy Program, but you did. And I think we've got to stop this nonsense because it's becoming destructive. There are factions and bitternesses beginning to develop within the UAP world, and I think it's in danger of blowing the whole thing apart because divide and rule is the
How is this going to blow up Disclosure? Because what Lou may or may not have been previously involved in.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, completely. Okay.
Go
ahead.
He's the only one who's purporting this. He's the one pushing this narrative. I mean, there are people that are snipers out there, but this guy, he's got a major megaphone with News Nation. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you sow this bullshit? Who cares if he was part of the Legacy Program?
He just heard about it now, right? He's never heard this before. He's talk to people, lots of friends. Okay, Legacy Program, you've got a lot of leakers or leaking to Ross. Clean up your program. You're not supposed to have any leakers.
And I'm trying to put a pin in this one where he looks at the camera, smiles, and he says, "I know people that know you." I mean, who does that?
Yeah,
tabloid journalist does that, Darryl.
Right.
And what we're listening to is tabloid journalism.
Is it a journalist who makes stuff up and then throws it out there like it's potentially real? Oh, didn't Ross do that before in Australia?
Yes.
Oh, it's a pattern.
Oh, it's what he tends to gravitate towards. It seems like to me, and it's not good. And listen, let's be clear about something. When did he do the interview with David Grush? Oh, I know, back in 2023. And after that, Grush testified at July 26, 2023, before Congress. And when did Lou come out? Oh, 2017. So Ross hasn't been doing this before Lou came out. He started doing it 6 years after Lou came out. So everything that comes out of his mouth, you take with a grain of salt because it's not entirely accurate. Back to the tabloid journalism again.
Yeah, I appreciate Grush, but I mean, who brought videos?
Oh, Lou did.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. 6 years before Ross interviewed David Grush. So, yeah, this is him really jumping up and down on the tabloid journalism aspect of his job and the new studio he just got from News Nation. So, yeah, live it up, Ross. Let's see where this gets you, or how far. You know, let me tell you something else real quick. He came out with this breaking news type of tabloid journalism when he opened his mouth up and put his foot in it when he said that, oh, the Tic Tacs were made by Lockheed Martin. Well, he had a podcast called Need to Know with his friend Bryce Zabel up until that point. And when he went and he dropped that little bomb on there, it cost him his podcast, Need to Know, and his friendship with Bryce Zabel. So
Well,
what did Bryce do?
he probably heard that both from who? DC Muswell,
Stephen
Stephen Greer, and Whistling Mike, because Whistling Mike was saying the same thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he definitely heard it from there. But that's where he's getting this bullshit stories from, and winking into the camera like, "Oh, it's true." No, it isn't.
He gets stories and he passes them on. Oh, I was told this. This is what came to me. No,
A senior person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is, tabloid journalism, not providing any proof to back up any of the claims and making exaggerated claims out there to get clickbait and everybody's attention, which it seems like he's doing, which is a shitty thing.
Let's continue on a bit more. Here we go.
Yeah.
The gatekeepers that would seek to put this all back into a box for another 50 years. And that is their intent. I have no...
Lou's intent is not to put this back in the fucking box for another 50 years, because he was equating Lou to the gatekeepers and what Clapper was doing and saying they want to lock it up for 50 more years, and they don't. Not even close.
Right. This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The real gatekeeper was Dick Cheney that came out, and he's dead now. So now there's been a transition. Ross is talking about Lou like he replaced Dick Cheney. No, nowhere near it. Lou gave up his career. Lou was the one that made this come out publicly for the public. Not Dick Cheney, not Ross Coulthart. It was Lou who did this 9 going on 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right, here we go a bit more.
Arm twisting up on that hill up there that are trying to put all of this back in a box. And we are at an epic moment in human history right now where, even though there was a cameraman called John who walked up to me earlier here in the News Nation office, I promised I'd mention him, and he said to me that he was skeptical that there's any evidence that aliens are engaging with this planet. I promise you, John, they are. Absolutely. No doubt about that. And there are people right up there on that hill this week who have confirmed that to me privately. And there are people over at the Pentagon here in Washington, D.C. who have confirmed that to me. And just up the Potomac, there are the people in the CIA who talk about this constantly. And we've got to get over this pretense that essentially there is not a there there. There is definitely a there there. But what I am really fearful of right now is, and thank you to that viewer for asking that question, basically, I do think that there is a schism developing. I think we've got to get over the bullshit of not talking about it. Sorry, did I just say a bad word? Are you going to have to censor me?
Yeah, it's
sorry about that. Megan all week has been stopping me from swearing and being rude and obstreperous and upfront. But no, I do think that we're at a very difficult position because there is clearly a gatekeeper faction, and Lou is not part of that gatekeeper faction. They're trying to totally suppress the existence of crash retrievals and reverse engineering. And why do I believe that? Because he's talked candidly about the fact that Roswell was real and that there have been crash retrievals and that there has been reverse engineering. Now, he may not have done that if it wasn't for David Grush coming up. But the reality is, I think we just have to move on and accept that...
I got Lou to talk about Roswell before Grush came out. What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, and we all need to stop talking about it. So here, let me use News Nation and say that so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the arsonist and the fireman.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. He's lighting the fires and trying to put them out.
That's the thing that really happens too. That's a thing. So, yeah, this is like a natural thing, and for oil or for Ross. I mean.
Yeah. Exactly.
All I know is he shouldn't be doing this, but let's see where he goes with this.
Yep. Here we go.
Well-intentioned people who do think that the public has a right to know. And it's what we don't know yet is what the decision is going to be from the White House about what the public has a right to know, full stop. Because my worry is that the Stephen Miller and Donald Trump, they're sitting there and Trump's thinking, what do I do about this? I've received briefings from my senior intelligence people.
This is not anything Trump would think. This is what Ross thinks.
But yes, there are non-human intelligences, and I'm very sure Donald Trump knows that. But he's wrestling with the idea, what do I do with the evangelical right in this country? Are they going to be upset? Is there going to be an ontological shock if I reveal this? Will the religion...
And what about Mario if he's a plumber? Where's his wrench? And what about his tool belt? Come on with this bullshit.
Pastors be infuriated? And that's why I know the White House has been consulting with pastors, with religious leaders, with evangelical leaders. It's wonderful that
there's more out there than evangelicals, my friend.
They're doing that, and it's to be commended that we have a president that is in the position of even considering making this decision. But if the UAP community continues to allow itself to ignore what's going on behind the scenes, which is there is sniping, there is a faction, there is a war beginning to develop, people are muttering.
Well, we've talked about this war that's beginning to develop. No, it's the CIA and the Department of Energy, Ross, don't want to play along. They're holding back the information. They're not letting it flow. That is the war that's been discussed. God, since the whole disclosure, since Trump started this whole process, they've talked about many times that the CIA doesn't want to play along.
Well, not only that, but Ross just said that right there in Capitol Hill, he's had members of Congress that have privately told him that we are not alone and that there is an advanced species here on Earth with us. Well, guess what? We had at that press conference on Capitol Hill, we had Tim Burchett saying that in skiffs, they're telling him that we're not alone and it is real. But publicly, they're claiming they have no knowledge of that. So you're not the only one, bucko. We're getting inside information out of Congress as well. It's not exclusive only to him. We're getting this from people that are in there publicly and coming right out and saying it now. So if he thinks he has access to secret information that nobody else does, he's sadly mistaken at this point.
Alice, your hand is up.
Yes, hello, everybody. I'm wondering, has anybody ever, you're saying they're talking about these ET, has anybody ever said what type of species they might be or what type they are?
Different conversation off the subject of what we're discussing at the moment, Alice. But if you stick around and wait, we can get around to that at one point, right, Thomas?
Absolutely. Mike, do me a favor, put your hand up for a second and talk. I've got to fix something.
Okay, my hand is up. See if you can adjust it accordingly.
No, it's not up.
This right now. Yeah, my hand is up.
No, it's not. Not your physical hand. Your hand in the back.
No, my hand in the... Yeah.
No, it's not. Daryl, do you want to put your hand up for a second? I need to fix this when people have their hand up. Michael, thank you. Say something. Someone say something so you're on camera with your hand up. It's all I need.
I got it. Hand up. How about now?
Oh, perfect. There we go. Spec, I needed to get back to right here, and this needs to go back to I don't know how the hell I lost this. 3.5. You have to tell it to keep it up. One more time.
Got it. I'm up. They changed the controls on Google Meet, so. Yeah, take your time.
Somehow it lost it, and I got it back. There we go.
Good.
Sorry about that.
No. Everything should be okay now.
All right, let's continue on. Here we go. Actually, okay, Mike, you can put your hand down now and we continue. Perfect. All right, here we go.
National security. Things saying we can't talk about national security. And the bottom line is, I don't buy it. I think Donald Trump is in a unique position right now where he can say, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I, Donald Trump, the greatest president in American history, well, that's of course what he would be if he did this, is going to reveal that non-human intelligence has been engaging with this planet. And there is a moment for greatness here. Any president that told the truth to the American public has an opportunity here to make a definitive statement about something that I know to be true.
All right, you know it to be true. That's wonderful, Ross. One of the things I want to bring up, this is a video clip from Danny Sheehan. This is about 3-4 years ago, Mike, at least.
Okay.
And I think I sent you this one as well.
Yeah, we talked about this one earlier today.
So what Danny has to say here.
New York Times published on the front page of the New York Times, above the fold, this story about the fact that the United States Pentagon had a special unit, a secret unit that was investigating UFOs. This was Luis Elizondo and Christopher Mellon. He was one of the ones that brought these videos to the New York Times, along with Lou Elizondo, who was the chief of security for the above top secret, military operation in the Pentagon, capturing UFOs and trying to reverse engineer them for making weapons.
Well,
no, that's not accurate.
I know.
Not at all.
But people are saying about, hey, this is new breaking information. I found it. I know all these people in the Legacy Program, Lou, and they all said you were involved in it. Well, if he was potentially involved in it, and that does check out, it seems he may have been not a gatekeeper. He was just someone in charge of security. If that's if Danny said what he said is what he said.
No, I don't know if this is an AI clip with Danny.
No, this isn't. I think we've covered this in the past. I recognize this venue.
Okay.
This is at least 4 years ago, Mike.
Okay, but look, that secret government program that he's talking about, that was ATIP. ATIP did not run crash retrievals and reverse engineering legacy programs. They were investigating them. Big difference. I know the information he's talking about, but it seems like it got turned into, and it's one and the same with the legacy program. No, it's not. They're different. They're completely different programs.
Yeah.
And what Lou was involved in was only into looking into it, not running them. That part of it is bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of it. And we know Danny has been, guilty of putting bullshit out there from time to time.
Danny has said stuff he isn't supposed to say, and apparently he's also had some senior moments along the way as well. He's not the youngest chicken, even 4 years ago.
No, he's not. So a lot of what Danny says from time to time is questionable at best.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You and I are well aware of that.
Yeah.
So I think this is taken out of context, what he said, and I don't think it's entirely accurate. And if they want to turn this into something against Lou, I don't believe it is.
No, this isn't turning anything against Lou. If Lou was involved with something like this, that should have no difference whether or not he becomes the UAP czar or not, period.
No, you're right. I agree with that. It should have no bearing on it either way. But I honestly don't believe that Lou was directly involved with, as security or not, anything to do with legacy, UAP, crash retrievals, or reverse engineering.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's DOE. That's not Lou.
Or CIA.
Oh, CIA, right. It's just not, it's not Lou. Yeah. That wasn't Lou's end of it. You and I are well aware of that. So when they try to confuse the two and make them both sound like, well, it's one and the same, no, it's not. Not even close. All Lou's ever tried to do is bring the truth out and be a patriot. That was his only
he wants
line.
To be able to bring a lot more stuff out than he has not been able to talk about, and he said it's time. This was
right
2 weeks ago today.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's the truth. And what other people are throwing out there as part of trying to get clicks or attention or tabloid journalism, it's not accurate. Not at all.
Yeah.
And if they feel that it is, then they have more than welcome to bring up all of the proof that they have to back up these claims.
It comes down to Ross as well. He wants Lou to come out and, spill the beans on this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
The reality of the matter is, isn't Ross the guy who, and if Lou spills the beans on this, it's going to be a violation of national security. He's going to be in violation of his NDAs and his agreements with the government, and he's likely going to go to prison for the rest of his life if he brings out the information in the improper way. But Ross wants him to bring it out. So doesn't Ross supposedly know about a giant UFO that's buried somewhere, something so large they had to put a building on top of it because they couldn't move it? And he has said many times he couldn't bring it out because of the concerns to national security, and he couldn't do it. But if he's asking Lou to go ahead and literally break his national security oath, why doesn't he do a fig leaf and bring out the information on that first?
Right. So I have a
poll on
question.
this, Rick. Ready to go when you are.
Go for it.
While you're working on that, I have a question for you, Thomas. Does any of what we're talking about right now sound vaguely familiar to you? Have we heard this before in the past? Did shit like this come out of Representative Anna Paulina Luna's mouth? And David Grush said that Lou should just put all his cards on the table? Haven't we heard the same shit before? Sounds familiar to me. And here we go again.
All right.
Somebody seems to be bringing this shit out about Lou. And
Yes,
it's not
okay.
accurate.
Ross Coulthart claims Lou is slowing down disclosure. Agree. Yes. Controlled narrative. No. Coulthart is wrong. Absolutely wrong.
He is.
But we got 44% going to yes and no and unsure.
If anybody has proof that Lou is in fact doing what they're claiming he's doing, they are more than welcome to bring that proof out publicly. And if they can't do that, then they don't have proof and they don't have a leg to stand on. It's just rumor that they're putting out there publicly. That's it.
Daryl, can we take this down to a yes or no instead of yes, no, unsure?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, this will simplify it.
Simple
Instead
yes
of
or no.
Right.
Is Lou isn't slowing down disclosure. My gosh, he's trying to move it forward.
Yes, he is. But the reason why we need a yes or a no is because it's like being a little bit pregnant. There's no such thing. Either you are or you aren't. Yes or no.
Right.
Is there a way to, there's probably no way to edit a poll, is there?
No, it's already shut down. You can copy and paste the text out of there, potentially.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is all bullshit. And I remember that Anna Paulina Luna, when she was going after Lou for the Lou flu, that he was ducking out of her skiffs, which he really wasn't. This was coming from her about how David Grush said Lou knows more than he's talking about. He needs to spill it. Really? He needs to violate his NDA and his national security oath, go to jail? Well, I tell you what, you first. Let Grush put what he knows out there. Oh, he didn't do that, did he? No, he didn't.
All right. About to get this in there.
All right. Pretty.
There you go.
Ross says Lou Elizondo slows disclosure. Yes or no? Well, I would take it as a complete no, because I don't think he's trying to slow down disclosure. He's trying to move disclosure forward. And if we keep it with the same people in the White House who don't know how to classify stuff, a bunch of people who don't have Lou here. Why?
Well, if that's true, they came to the wrong show.
But we do have a bunch of people in the audience who don't like Lou. Some people like him, some people don't.
That's very interesting. I would not have guessed that.
Oh, and let me go ahead and bring up the survey as it's coming on right now. So there we go. So far, 1 minute into this. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Got it. 1 minute. Starting.
Now, here we go, folks. Yes, we got a minute into this. We got a minute and a half left to go. Ryan, your hand is up. How would you vote on this?
I didn't even listen to what the poll was that you're posting. I wasn't even going to call on tonight, but I have to.
All right, we'll talk to you in a second then. We're talking about the poll.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I would absolutely vote no. Lou is not slowing down disclosure. Syrup, how would you vote, my friend?
No, he's not slowing down disclosure. Give him amnesty and let's see how much he's slowing it down after that.
Yeah, with 53 seconds left to go, we're at 48-52, folks. Let's see where this poll takes us. With 47 seconds left, come on, we only have 89 votes in. Let's see where this can go.
Let's hear from Jay Albertson, who's in the back with us. Jay, what would you vote on this?
I would vote no. He is, Ross says Lou slows disclosure. I'd vote no, because if he really was going to slow disclosure, he never would have said anything.
Yeah.
Right. Good point. I agree with that.
Yeah. Why would he try and slow something down? 21 seconds left to go.
That he's
With,
putting out there.
almost 100 votes in. There we go. We're getting there, folks. Happy Monday to you.
Okay, Thomas.
Yes.
And we've learned more about this.
How would you vote on
situation from
Ryan?
No.
Yes or no? No. Okay, good answer.
No.
Right.
Excellent. Really quick. All right.
We've learned more about this topic from Lou than all other whistleblowers combined. And if there's any trolls in the audience, face it, you're jealous. You're jealous because the only thing you've accomplished is sitting on X in your mother's basement, spreading BS. Really, what have you done, trolls? What have you accomplished? The answer, nothing. You haven't accomplished anything. You're just jealous because Lou is out there trying to make a difference. So stop contributing to the problem and start contributing to the solution.
Yeah.
Get off your computer, log off from X, do something worthwhile. Otherwise,
Thanks, Ryan. We got it. Very good.
Absolutely wonderful conversation. He's a little passionate there tonight, more than usual, but that's okay. We get along with him anyway. All right, so there we go. I got our final answer. Ross says Lou slows disclosure. Your take? Kind of close, but almost an 8-point spread. No, Lou does not slow down disclosure. He's trying to really move it forward. And so people asked, what's your allegiance to Lou? Well, I've known Lou going back to 2020, I believe. Not a little bit after that, and someone who I've interacted with on a regular basis ever since. And I mean, the same guy you see in the interviews that you see going through stuff is the same guy you talk to on the phone or in a video conference or in person. It's the same guy. It's not like there's off-air Lou and on-air Lou. Syrup?
No, I'm very interested in like how people could think he's slowing down disclosure. If anyone wants to jump in the back, or maybe someone in the back thinks he is, I'm curious to hear their opinions because I'm still kind of lost on Ross Coulthart's whole point here.
Well, we'll let him dig himself a deeper hole, and we'll listen to what points he continues to make about this.
Yep. Exactly. Now, there have been a lot of other discussions going on this, Mike. Where can I get to? Let's get to the interview for a second. Let's get to close enough. Let's deal with this as we're getting into it. All right. So there's been other conversations going on besides just Ross. There are other ones. UAP Gerb had a podcast last night. And along with Rob, who's the new ufologist paid for by News Nation. And, they say that disclosure credibility depends on the honest transparency of the person running it. Well, Lou has tried to be as transparent as he could. He maybe not have been able to be as honest because if you are under an NDA, you can't break national security, flat out. They also wanted to highlight Lou's constant deflection when asked questions about his roles in legacy programs. He's talked about little things here and there. But again, if you're under an NDA and you cannot acknowledge or even not acknowledge or discuss anything about any of your involvement in a potential legacy program, how can they hold that against him unless they don't have knowledge of how this stuff works? Rob also raised independence concerns like an audit where the auditor may have been part of the organization being audited. Yeah, in this case, Lou knows where the bodies are. He knows the programs. He knows the generals. He knows the different areas on a level that exceeds well beyond Grush. It's kind of where it's at. And in other areas we've had, let me if I can find this other PDF I've got here. Second window. There we go. In another show today that was out there, you had, was it that UFO podcast, right? Andy McGrillen, and was on there with Pavel. Pavel's no fan of Lou.
Right.
And where does it get into? So yeah, it's the same kind of a thing. It just seems to be, Lou's got an opportunity to move forward and help Disclosure move forward, but the people, it's almost like there's this other movement that they're trying to keep Lou out of it to slow things down, which is kind of what would happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. That makes the most sense. They don't want Lou to take that position, and they're losing their shit right now, trying to bury him to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. If you're trying to keep, it's not even being patriotic. It's being a patriot. And we know Lou is that. And honestly, if it comes down to protecting the national security of our country, unfortunately, he would put that in front of Disclosure because he understands the weights and what happens along with it.
Right. And knows where that goes and what would happen.
Exactly.
And as far as David Grush is concerned, for over 2 years, he's had the opportunity to give us his op-ed, and we never got it. And we still haven't gotten it.
No, we haven't, have we?
No, we have not.
Thomas, I deleted the back chat. Deleted the pin message, so I just added it back in case you're wondering why you see yourself pinning a message.
Okay, cool. You accidentally deleted it again?
Yeah, I thought I'm not in my personal.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Let me get across to my X feed here if I can find the right browser. We can find something else to get into. Yeah, the whole thing with Lou getting thrown under the bus again, it just takes you, Mike, and just throws you into it. Unfortunately, one of the people, Tio, isn't here today. I thought he was going to come in and talk about it. He's been leading this whole front going up against the naysayers on X.
Right. And I texted him, and I still haven't heard back yet. So we'll see.
Right.
I'm going to try to get a line on him.
Have you been?
Right. Now, actually, you know what? I actually have some other clips. There's a new Lou Elizondo just was down in Florida for an interview with Sean Hannity. And I believe we've got, and it wasn't just Lou, Mike, Sean Hannity, Representative Tim Burchett was there as well.
Oh, very nice.
Let's go ahead and bring up, we have 3 1-minute clips we can go ahead and go through and talk about. Let's go ahead and go through those next. This should be coming out tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow or the next day at the latest. So let's get this a little more situated so you can see the text and everything that goes on. Here we go, folks. Here's the first one.
Now we're talking about beings, and we have sworn testimony that they have biologics, which are bodies. And so
you're saying we have alien bodies in our possession.
That's sworn testimony. But here's the way they cover that up is we've come to find out they turn it over to a private entity like a say one of the missile defense contractors. There's probably 5 or 6. We've had testimony, and Lou could name them off. And every time I'm on a show like this, I can see my contributions from these groups diminishing more and more, but I don't really care. I'm over it. But what they do is they've given it to these corporations to where you and I can't get to it through FOIA, Freedom of Information Act.
And the company who's most likely has the biological materials for doing research on genetics and DNA is Monsanto Bayer. Anyone would know that, but I'm throwing it out there. It's just one of the things out there that we're aware of. We became aware of a long time ago. There's a long, if you want to call a trail of information that leads from Dayton, Ohio, coming right next to Wright-Patterson Field and following the trail down to St. Louis, Missouri, where they got these giant underground cave systems, caves that they had put together for doing all their research below the radar, literally. Let's go ahead and play this next clip here of Lou Elizondo talking about there was a plan to eliminate you. That's Lou, that is.
I said, hey, are you okay? He says, no. I was in a meeting where government officials had told myself and other staff and a member or two that there was a plan at one point, a discussion to eliminate you and Grosh. And then he said, look, I'm very upset by this.
Did I hear you right?
Yes, you absolutely heard me right. Correct.
Plan to eliminate you.
That's correct.
Kill you.
whatever eliminate means. And then I received another call. Well, that's the reason why I have 5 German Shepherds and I'm heavily armed. I mean, it is what it is. And then immediately after that call, quite concerning, I received another call from another staffer who was, first thing he says, Lou, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. Why? He's like, well, you need to really watch yourself because there was discussions involving you and Grush that people were very upset with what you guys did.
So this is the guy who's trying to slow down disclosure, and he's in bed with the deep state, yet they're trying to kill him and David Grush. And they're talking about it in open meetings.
Yeah, which is complete bullshit.
Yep.
Makes no goddamn sense.
Exactly. All right, let me get one more clip up here, one more external application. We got one more. It's a short clip from Tim, but let's see what he has to say on this one about kicking the virtual hornet's nest. Another good analogy coming from Tim Burchett. Here we go.
Well, I'll tell you this. The part where I said I'm not suicidal. I remembered it was another Saturday. I was sitting at the house and I got a call from I'll just say a friend of the administration had told me that
the Trump administration.
Yeah, it said I'd kicked a hornet's nest, and they said you need to get bodies around you. And I'm in East Tennessee. I've got bodies around me. There's enough good old boys out there. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's a literal. Lou will tell you we have kicked a virtual hornet's nest, and these people don't want this stuff out.
So there we go, Mike. Not only was Grush and Elizondo targeted, so has been Burchett.
Right. That's right. And Tim is still around, as is Lou and Grush. So they're not going anywhere.
Nope, not at all. Jay Albertson, your hand is up.
Yeah, I was just going to say a good friend of ours also, Gene, his family was also attacked. So, I mean, that was, by that biological agent, the fungus that was thrown in.
The funguses, yeah.
Yep.
People who talk too much seem to find their lives ending sooner than it could be. Now,
that happened. That happened right after he came out with his stuff, Engineering Infinity.
Mm-hmm. It's a mess. All right. In this next clip we've got here, we've got Lou Elizondo in talking with, let me get on this one. Where's this from? Lou Elizondo talking in an interview, talking about holding crash retrievals. So yeah, if he's held it, Mike, and I got to wonder if the crash retrieval material he's going to be talking about here is the stuff that they had acquired through TTSA, which was the crash material that Art Bell had received, that they then got through, bought from Linda Moulton Howe, and then tried to do some additional research on it.
Right. No, it's got to be. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, play the clip.
Here we go. With Glenn Beck. Here we go.
So have you been allowed to see anything? I mean, I assume there's been other crashes. Have you been able to actually see this evidence with your own eyes, the actual physical evidence?
Yeah, I actually gave a briefing to a senior member of the Department of Defense in 2017, several briefings, about the material that I personally have held in my hand. I have held it in my hand, and so have other individuals and I'm not going to say who they were, that worked for very, very high-end aerospace companies, best of the best. And they're looking at this from an engineering perspective, and they're scratching their head. They're saying, I can see it, I believe it, but I can't believe this material was found back then. And under those circumstances, this material, we did not have the engineering capability. It isn't an engineered piece of material. It's layered. It was studied by NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It's been studied by other organizations as well. And of course, that's really the gold standard, isn't it? When you have material that you can analyze and you can look at that material and succinctly say, yeah, this material is very special and it requires an X degree amount of technology to manufacture or reproduce. And frankly, it did not exist at the time the material was found, at least not with.
Yeah. So He tries to be as truthful as he can to talk around stuff as much as he can. And this next clip we have coming from him in the podcast with Julian Dory. Lou goes into it and talk about, oh yeah, I've signed NDAs which prevent me from talking about UFO crash retrievals. He's been very, very forward with that, hasn't he, Mike?
He has. He hasn't lied. He's put it right out there publicly. So, yeah, he's not bullshitting anybody about what he can and cannot say.
No.
Which, by the way, that's a really creative way to say there are UFO crash retrievals.
Yes, it is.
That's Lou's breadcrumbs that he's very famous for.
Exactly. Let me go refill my national security while I start this video clip, and we'll talk about it when I get back. Hey, Mike and Daryl?
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, got it.
All right. Turn that down. Turn this all the way up. Here we go, folks.
Have you stood in front of a recovered UFO?
I am, boy, I can talk about what's in the book because I got cleared for it. So let me say this. I have had in my possession material that was allegedly recovered from a UFO.
Who gave it to you?
I cannot say.
Okay.
It was, but I have been told, I was warned very, very clearly, this I'll share with you. I was told several years ago that I could never talk about crash retrievals or material, ever. And I signed a paperwork for it, right? So that in itself should be evidence for you. But more importantly than that, it's only been recently I'm allowed to talk about the one piece of material because it's in my book and I got cleared for it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I have to honor that. So just so you understand, I'm not trying to be evasive. I don't want to go to jail. Okay?
I hear you.
So there is material that I've had access to that was clearly engineered. We had one of the very best, I can't say which one of the very best aerospace companies and government contractors. Okay, so you can try to figure out who that was. Try to replicate.
Sorry,
I'm not saying one way or the other. Tried to replicate that material. And at a cost of $1 million, and it broke the machine, they're able to create this material at a macro level, a sandwich between one piece and another piece. This material, up to 3 years ago, I don't know about now, but 3 years ago, we could not replicate. We did not have the technology to manufacture it. When you look at this material, and you found out, when we know for sure we've found it and where it was found, temporally, there's a problem. Because this material has obviously been engineered with a technology that at least we're pretty sure we don't have. Maybe the Russians, maybe the Chinese, sure. Back in the 1990s, 1940s, definitely not. That is equivalent to us as if you have a piece of material that says, hey, this is from 1940, whatever.
All right. So getting into this, they're talking about what Lewis talked about this in other terms before. What he said is we lack the material. We understand this. We understand the stuff. We understand the construction of the stuff. We can try and reproduce it. And I believe they're trying to do like a 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter kind of little square. And they spent all the money. They couldn't get anything to come out of it. We lack the material science that's required to create this technology. Also, in additional stuff that's come out about it, they believe this stuff was created in zero gravity. Why? Because when we're going ahead and creating it here on Earth, they're basically laying down one atomic layer of a certain kind of aluminum, right? That's not made out of minerals. It's made out of isotopes. Completely different way to make the material. Then on top of that, they lay one on top of another on top of another. But when you do that on Earth, they delaminate, meaning they fall apart. They push apart from each other. However, if you were to do that same task in outer space or zero gravity, there's something called cold welding or something like, or not cold fusion, but like cold welding, that when they lay these materials down like that in the layers in outer space, the materials actually come together and bond.
Right.
So, interesting facts all around. Lou tries to talk about it. He just doesn't say, I can't talk about it. He tries to talk around it. But the most important thing that goes through it is he tries to explain why he can't talk about some of this stuff.
Right. Because he doesn't want to keep people completely in the dark. And that's why he lays breadcrumbs, comes right up to the line, but doesn't step over it. But at that point, when he steps up to the line, you pretty much know what he's talking about. So he puts it out in layman's terms. So he's not trying to not give anybody any information. He has been, since 2017, trying to come forward with information. Right, Thomas?
Tried to lay down the breadcrumbs to help the people connect the dots in between what we're getting. And Lou doesn't like the disclosure dots that are getting out there right now. He called it out as bullshit. He says we're doing what we can do to try and work with the administration to get them to start giving us the metadata, because without it, the videos are useless. I mean, they give us a certain kind of visual cool effect, but it doesn't give us what we need.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
No, it's just that people should realize that Lou is trying to do the right thing. And anybody throwing shit his way for no reason, that's it's bullshit.
Yeah.
He's giving us all this information.
Yeah. Well, here we've got one kind of conflicting message that's out there. James Lukatsky, who designed and ran the Pentagon's largest secret UFO program, OSAP, from 2008 to 2010, told Corbella Knapp on his Weaponized podcast in November of 25. Let's go ahead and see where he takes us, folks. Interesting. And well, he's a very interesting guy, someone who I've known about for a very long time. Hell, I even knew about Lukatsky before anyone else in the industry knew about Lukatsky, for that matter. Thanks to Anthony Brigala from UFO Explorations, who had tracked his ass down and was trying to get him at his new house in Florida. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this next video. Here we go. Let's play it. It's coming from the podcast. Thanks from Interstellar. Here we go.
In the Constitution. So you're allowed to protect information even from Congress?
I've been told that before, and I've been, that I'd have to be accompanied throughout my career. So that's, I would say that I would hope that no one is lying to Congress. However, I know differently in these hearings.
You do know that people have lied during the hearings.
Oh, he even said if he came in front of the hearings because of his NDAs, Mike, what did he say? He would lie as well.
He said that if they asked him if he knew who Dr. James Lukatsky was under oath, that he would tell them he's never heard of the man. He has no idea who that is.
Bingo. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Play a little bit more. Here we go, folks. By the way, if you're enjoying the show, you stop by, haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe. We'd love to have you on as a regular. We've been doing regular UFO news again on a daily basis for some time, and you know what? We're here. We're going to be covering it, and if you enjoy our format, please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. And for those who are watching, we've got 370 watchers, only 128 likes. If you're having a good time, give us a thumbs up. Why am I asking? Because, well, the YouTube algorithm depends on input from people like you, just besides viewing, to help promote this show with more people. Thank you, everybody. Let's continue.
I know that people have lied and they've raised. Now,
wait, hold on. Who's lied and what did they lie about?
Oh, I could never say that.
Why are you not allowed to say that?
No, I wouldn't professionally say that. But
okay.
I mean, we're talking about people who may not know. There's a lot of this going on these days, but let me tell you that there's people who don't know the difference between a lie, an exaggeration, and pure fantasy.
Okay, but just as you've said it, hold on, you've said it. So let's eliminate who didn't lie, because I think that's important to do to them, because you've just put a target on people.
That
so
can't be answered.
Dylan Borland, did he lie?
Oh, I would never say that.
No, you wouldn't say that because it's not true. He didn't lie.
No, I wouldn't say that because I don't know.
Okay, well, that's different. So you know of somebody that lied, but that is not Dylan Borland, correct?
I don't know him at all. No.
Okay, but that's important because you said somebody lied in Congress and you're aware of it. So you're isolating somebody that lied. And it's important to me that we are very clear that that is not George Knapp, not Dylan Borland. Stop me if I'm wrong. Not Senior Chief Wiggins.
That is not those two individuals.
Not Jeff Nusatelli.
oh, here you're going to go through all the people.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make sure that our audience understands that when you've said somebody particularly has lied in Congress and you know it, but you won't elaborate, that we take the bullseye off of people that I know you're not talking about. So that would be.
There's no bullseye on these people. They've all moved off on the.
No, they haven't.
Their statements. They've sworn to their statements, and I just leave that sleeping dog lie.
Oh, don't start saying those words, man. You don't know what you just did. Sleeping dog, right? I hear you, but it's important to me because I helped bring those people in that we get very clear that your accusation that somebody lied, that it is not, I'm just going to say 4 people, George Knapp, Dylan Borland, Senior Chief Wiggins, or Jeff Nusatelli, who have testified.
And those are the people you brought in, you're saying?
I brought in almost everybody with George, but I'm just saying those 4 people.
Now we're going something I can't answer and I won't answer anymore. The fact is I made a statement that there was falsehoods made. The source of those falsehoods could be total delusion. I think otherwise. Other people think otherwise, but it could be that they're just totally deluded.
Okay, but I mean, I think I know what you're referencing, and I just think it's important to just separate the people so that you don't paint the false target on their back.
That's necessary. I think this is part of the research process, and you're doing it, but you can't come to an answer by just getting another bit of information from me. Some of the people I don't even know.
I know there's a disconnect here because you don't realize.
So, man, Jeremy is just trying to push. Daryl, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that's an older clip
I know.
From a few months ago. And I'm pointing that out for the audience because I don't think Jeremy had said what his movie was going to be titled at the time that he just said Sleeping Dogs. But yeah, I'm kind of lost here. I don't know that Lukatsky understands what Jeremy's saying or why he's saying it. You know, what Jeremy's trying to do is clear everybody that he's brought that testified before Congress with Lukatsky.
Yeah,
that's what he wants to do. He said, "Hey, I've got these 4 people. I just want you to tell me that none of them are involved with that." Is basically what he's trying to say, in some sort of other ludicrous thing.
Right.
But he just couldn't get there.
And it's not like we're pointing towards Lou or Grush or someone else, but I think that's where Jeremy's trying to point it at, tell you the truth. Because how many other whistleblowers have we had up there?
I don't know. I think I'd like to take that poll again at some point because I emailed you what Grok thinks about Lou, and I didn't say in regard to this thing. And the points that it brings up are strong points as to why Lou is not trying to slow disclosure. I mean, strong points. So really the poll should be, do you think Grok is working for non-disclosure? What are the strong points,
Daryl? Bring them out.
All right. I emailed it to you in case you want to go point by point, but I'll bring it up here. Oh, no, I'll bring it up. I'll be more than happy to read it to you.
I'll bring it up.
Are you ready?
We're ready. Grok's take on Lou. Okay, so why is he not slowing disclosure?
Yep. Do you want me to read it?
Well, you want me to? Or would you like to do it?
No, whatever you want to do.
This is your thing. I'm
Go ahead, Darren.
Go for it. Okay, number one. Okay, so what is your first point? Why Grok thinks this?
So this is what Grok said. The summary 18. It took him 18 seconds. My honest take: I do not believe Louis Elizondo is currently working for the government or some shadowy entity in an active capacity to slow disclosure or deliberately distract from key elements of it. Why I think this? Number one, his track record since going public 2017 to 2026, Elizondo has been one of the most consistent, high-profile voices pushing for transparency for nearly a decade. You want me to wait?
Give me 1 second. I just want to get the stuff up here. I'm going to do multiple screenshots so everyone can see this. So I'll get this a little bit more. So one, you've got going, you're on talking about his track record, right?
Number one, yeah. Why? Yeah, his track record.
Screenshot. Here, hold on.
Tell me when you're ready, and
you'll see when I'm ready. Number one, his track record since going public.
So I'm not watching your. I'm reading. I'm reading.
Go for it. I've got it right here.
Okay.
That's
okay.
set.
Okay. Elizondo has been one of the most consistent, high-profile voices pushing for transparency, for reality, for nearly a decade. He released the Pentagon UFO videos, testified before Congress, wrote the book Imminent, continues doing interviews, tours, and public advocacy, including recent appearances calling for whistleblower immunity and criticizing slow walking of information. Has repeatedly said the government has been deceptive and that more needs to come out. If his primary mission was to slow or gatekeep disclosure, this level of sustained public pressure would be a strange way to do it. Controlled opposition usually tries to contain the conversation, not keep expanding it.
Right.
Should I keep going? Okay.
Yeah. So, that's actually a good piece. Let's talk about that for a second. Yeah. So Lou has done a bunch of other things. He does want disclosure to move forward. Even as recently as 2 weeks ago, he came out and said, yeah, I know a lot of stuff that I've been having to keep my mouth shut, and we need to start, it needs to start coming forward. It's time. The people in the United States are ready for it, and they deserve the right to know this information.
Right. Okay, number 2, the still working for the government claim. There is no credible public evidence that Elizondo is still employed by the U.S. government in any official UAP-related role. He left the Pentagon ATIP years ago. Most sources describe him now as a former official turned author, media personality, and disclosure advocate. He has spoken openly about being blacklisted from certain intelligence community jobs after going public.
Right. Remember, he was working for the Space Force, doing some research and work along with Grush and others, right?
Right.
And
but currently working for the government.
But when Danny Sheehan improperly shared that classified information because he was not allowed to talk about who he was working for, what his role was, Lou actually got fired from that job thanks to Danny Sheehan. So Danny does have a problem sometimes in talking too much, irrespective of the damage that comes out of it. So wait, why am I doing this twice? Number 3 is the NDAs and limited revelations. Daryl?
This is the main point critics, including some recent comments from Ross Coulthart, use against him. Elizondo frequently cites security oaths and NDAs as reasons he can't say everything. This is real for many whistleblowers. They often walk a legal tightrope. It creates the appearance of holding back, which fuels suspicion. However, he can't say everything because of NDAs is very different from he is actively working to slow disclosure.
Yes, I still can't keep on. I still can't get how Ross keeps on saying that Lou is trying to slow disclosure. It just doesn't add up.
No, none of it does.
It seems like they're getting, it's almost like, it's almost like the deep state is putting these conversations out there to try and keep Lou out of this role because they're afraid of the truth of what's going to happen if Lou actually does bring the truth out, Daryl.
Yeah. I'd say it doesn't add up in the way that we're thinking about it, but it adds up some way. Not positively for Lou, but something that's going on with Coulthart. I think there may be some. I have a thought about that later. 4, recent criticism. Coulthart's comments. In recent episodes, including around late June 2026, Ross Coulthart has expressed skepticism about Elizondo's past roles and suggested he may have been positioned in ways that managed the narrative. This has fueled online debate.
Yes, it has.
Coulthart is a serious yes. Now, I don't know if I believe Grok here. Coulthart is a serious journalist, who has done excellent work on this topic, so his skepticism deserves consideration. But these appear to be questions about past involvement and strategic positioning rather than hard proof that Elizondo is currently running a disinformation operation to corrupt his own credibility or derail disclosure. Community infighting is common in this space, and accusations of controlled opposition fly in both directions.
Yeah, really quick. The one thing you brought up here is that Elizondo is currently running a disinformation operation. That's the biggest thing that people keep on bringing up again and again, and they can't trust Lou. He's a disinformation agent. He's not bringing out the truth. He's trying to slow it down when it's completely the opposite.
Right. And then finally, we get to the bottom here. Number 5, the bigger picture on slow disclosure.
One second. Hold on. Let me get it up.
Okay. Sorry. I'm not on your page. I'm on.
I know. And as you bring up the pages, I go and bring it up. Here we go. The bigger picture on slow disclosure. Go ahead.
There is strong evidence that parts of the U.S. government have long practiced slow managed disclosure or outright denial. The recent rolling file releases under the Trump administration fit that pattern, incremental rather than a full, here's everything dump. Who doesn't love to see a here's everything dump? Anyway, it's possible Elizondo is navigating within that system, knowing more than he can say, but that's different from him being an active agent tasked with slowing things down. Many people in his position would face the same constraints.
Yeah.
And let me know if you're at the bottom line.
Almost there. So yeah,
Okay.
I'd have to agree with you on this. You know, all the different statements people are making about Lou slowing it down. You know what they're playing on? They're playing on people's, if you want to call it, biases that have been built on X or on X regarding different trolls and different people out there who have been attacking him on a regular basis. They have the same hate, they have the same dialogues, and all this is doing is stoking all that information up again into detriment of Lou. But the reality, it's going to the detriment of bringing out the truth and moving disclosure forward at the lightning speed we need. Again, tens of millions of documents. You need a real workflow and a lot of freaking people to make that happen. Let's get to your bottom line, Daryl.
The bottom line from Grok. I think Elizondo is genuinely trying to advance disclosure within the legal and personal constraints he operates under. The idea that he's secretly still on the government payroll, running interference, feels like it over-explains things and underweights the simpler explanation, like people always fucking do. He's a former insider who saw enough to speak out, but not enough or not with enough legal protection to say everything. That said, healthy skepticism is good. No one in the space should get a free pass. Demanding more transparency from everyone, including Elizondo, Coulthart, Grush, and official channels, is the right approach. There you go. That's pretty much it.
There's a part of it. Great conversation, Daryl, that you got up, and it's good information. It just really shows that, we're just dealing with a lot of skepticism and a lot of, if you want to call it, speculation out there about what Lou is or really isn't. And they're just freaking spinning around in a circle, just trying to throw as much shit to see what hits the wall.
Yeah. I would encourage anybody to go to any AI and ask the same question, because you'll probably get the same response. It just doesn't. You're going to get a little bit make better any results sense.
Sometimes, depending on where it is.
All right, yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. I mean, the whole part about continuing to talk about it, if you're trying to slow it, and when you're expanding the conversation rather than reducing it, that's just that should be proof enough that he's on the right side of this. It should be.
Hey, I do have a clip from that podcast with UAP Gerb that took place last night. This one is a minute 47 coming in from UAP Luigi, who was going to be here today.
Yeah, let's play that. Yeah, he was supposed to be here. Yep.
Got ghosted. So much for introducing him to the local buffets.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this next one. Video Thomas, big guest. All right. No, there we go. Light us. Let's a little bit higher. Let's play this little. What's the intro on this one? Let's get this straight. UAP disclosure comes from the government, specifically the U.S. executive branch, POTUS, not whistleblowers. That is true. Secondly, it's never going to come from the House of Representatives or the Senate, no matter what they say. They are at the whim and control of the executive branch, and only what the executive branch wants to bring out, Mike, is the only thing that they are going to bring out, because otherwise, what are the two words that they're going to go ahead and say to keep it from coming out?
National security.
That's right, everybody. If you haven't been drinking already, there's a good reason to have another swig now. Yeah. All right. Let's play it. Here we go.
Here's what I'll say, and I've spent...
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is Rob Jones reports. He is a paid ufologist from News Nation. So when you hear Ross saying these things you don't agree with, and you see Rob saying things you don't agree with, remember who pays their bills and their advertisers, for that matter. Wink, wink, hint, hint, wink, wink.
Here's what I'll say, and I've spent a considerable amount of time battling on Twitter today about this. So what I would say is that, and I said this earlier, is that a disclosure effort is only as credible as the honesty of the people running it. Okay. Lou has been open about a legacy program and open about talking about the legacy program in sworn testimony to Congress, and yet has not been open by his I'm sorry, but by his own admission, has not been open or willing to discuss his role within it. He has always deflected those questions. He does not answer those questions directly when they are posed to him. For example, his only response on Twitter today was to quote tweet someone who essentially came to his defense, but it was a non sequitur straw man defense because it wasn't attacking the actual allegation or a talk to the public.
Oh, shit. God damn it. I clicked on there. Sorry, folks. Hold on. Here we go.
To quote tweet someone who essentially came to his defense, but it was a non sequitur straw man defense because it wasn't attacking the actual allegation or addressing the allegation of him being a former member or current member of the legacy program in any respect. So,
because nobody knows. He was just sticking up for Lou as you guys were going ahead and attacking Lou. And you continue to go ahead and do, Rob. It's just one of those things. You just have to take everything with a grain of salt and get there. And yes, UAP Luigi, who was going to be here tonight, didn't show up, was going to go ahead and talk about some of the stuff. So, it's just.
He had a nap and he slept through the show.
I have a quick question real quick.
Take it.
Stop me. Is it possible that Lou signed an NDA saying he can't tell anyone he was a part of a legacy program?
Yeah, no shit. If he was involved with anything with different things, if he was involved with crash retrievals, he's saying he can't talk about any NDAs. But, legacy program, they keep on. Legacy program is like this shit back in the 50s and 60s. What they're trying to deal with is just the current program. Although I put on the title card, it's kind of an oxymoron because it's apparently still going on. So would it be legacy or current?
So how come he can't? So how did they expect him to address that if he can't even speak on it?
Well, Lou isn't going to talk about it. And when people go and attack Lou on Twitter, usually Lou remains silent. He lets the people go ahead and say what they're going to say. Now, if someone goes out there and, carries the torch and pitchforks for him to go after the trolls and everybody and rallies people behind him, he'll go ahead and say thank you for doing that. And that's exactly what Lou has done. But, Mike, isn't this the same behavior Lou has had forever?
Oh, my God, for years now. This has been going on.
How do these guys not know that? Oh, that's right. They're new and they really haven't been paying attention to it for all these years, have they?
No, they absolutely have not. This is something that they're looking back on and don't have all the information on like you and I do. Yeah. So, it's bullshit.
Just got to say with Rob Jones, depending on the angle you see, he's got that Mike Turner look coming into him pretty quickly. Here we go.
That's what I'll say on that front, that it's very important for that position to be occupied by someone who has a devotion to the truth and a devotion to transparency and someone that the public is willing to trust in that role. Lou does have, and I think like Ross said, there's a small window here still where Lou does have the opportunity to potentially come forward and talk to the public openly about these things. Now, I don't know.
Is this guy that fucking stupid? I have to bring this up and say it's like, oh, there's an opportunity for Lou to come out or what? To break his fucking NDAs and to go to prison?
And go to jail, correct. Yeah, he's a real schmuck and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And wants Lou to break the law and commit a crime. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, just bite the bullet and do it already.
Ryan?
You first, schmuck.
Ryan, is it about this?
Yes.
Yes.
Who died and made this guy Mr. Know-It-All? Half the shit he knows about is directly from Lou Elizondo. He could thank Lou Elizondo for all that Lou Elizondo has provided over the last.
How about Ryan? He could thank Lou Elizondo for his fucking full-time salary job with News Nation, being their paid ufologist, because if Lou Elizondo didn't get this started back when it happened, this would he wouldn't be here today.
Exactly. And again, who made this guy Mr. Know-It-All? Get a life. Stop spreading false rumors. You're only slowing down disclosure by spreading false rumors, which he has no evidence to back up. That's my comment.
Thank you very much, sir. And to the people in the audience saying, where's Lou? We'll get him back on here. When I saw him 2 weeks ago, literally 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
In person.
In person. He said, yeah, I'd be happy to come back on the show. Link up with me. He's been busy, a lot of stuff. I've been busy with life. We've all been busy with life and the whole thing. And you know what? Why not?
Right. Oh, it'll happen.
Certainly will. Like it's going to happen tomorrow morning, Mike. I guess I am getting up at 6:30 tomorrow morning. You're going to see my really freaking Chinese eyes in the morning that I have. Yeah, it's very squinty Asian eyes. That's why I've got a Cambodian husband upstairs, because we get along so well. Yes, we are going to be covering the what do you call it? The hearing tomorrow about.
Oh no. Are you talking about the MK Ultra?
MK Ultra. The audience said they wanted me to cover it.
Oh fuck. Is that tomorrow? Tuesday?
Tomorrow, Tuesday.
Oh,
tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock my time. No, 10 o'clock, 9, 8, 7 o'clock my time. So I have to get up at 6:30. Yeah, it starts at 10 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, I thought it was on Wednesday on your birthday.
No, it's Tuesday. The birthday is on the 1st. We're going to have, we got a special show tonight to try and get those final, if you want to call it, super chats in for the end of the month to bring up the numbers for June. It's been a good month. Got to say, it could be better, but why not? But yes, I took the day off. Literally, I burned a fucking vacation day. So all those people out there watching right now who said, oh yeah, we'll be there. You better be fucking there. I'm going to get up. I have to get up on my day off. And I took a day off to help you guys.
Hey, Thomas, the 1st is on Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I misheard.
Bingo, yeah. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yep. All right. So we're doing that tomorrow morning?
Yeah. We talked about this before. Don't you remember?
No.
No, it's the infection getting in the way of things again. You're forgetting things, Mike.
Well, yeah, there's so many different things going on. I didn't realize that, MK Ultra was tomorrow.
That's okay. If you're there, you're there. If you're not,
I'll be there. I'll be there. I just didn't realize it was tomorrow. Yeah.
All right.
You know that they're drigging up 50-year-old shit from the church committee, right?
Oh, blame the fucking audience. They're the ones who said they wanted me to be there, and if I should take a day off, and I said yes, I'll do it for you. Because we had like 89% of the audience and said yes, cover it.
Yeah, but they're going to be talking about the 1975 Church Commission over 50 fucking years ago, and they've covered everything.
Mike, it sounds so exciting. Don't turn off the audience now. We'll convince you about it later, personally on the phone call.
Yeah. Also, during the actual hearing, we'll be bitching about it.
Oh, yeah. Blame Canada. No one can blame.
Yeah.
I don't have my sound effects. I didn't load them ahead of time. I would have had to delay the start of the show.
No, Thomas. You're right. Blame Canada was exactly what came out of the Church Commission in 75. So you're not wrong about that. Yes, sir.
No, Wolfdog said that. Wolfdog 25 said blame Canada.
He's right. Canada was heavily involved with what we were doing with the MK Ultra program and those children.
Wow, Michael Sokoloff, are you aware of that?
He had to have been.
Well, he's from Canada. I've got to ask him. He's our only Canada link we have in the show. Michael, are you there?
Yeah.
Is he in here?
He should be. Maybe we upset him.
Oh yeah, no, he's in there.
Oh, he is.
All right.
Okay, defend your nation.
We got 17 seconds left of this video. Let's play the rest of this and here we go.
Know if he has the authorization to do that or lacks that authorization, but if you're going to be given this position, at the moment that you have that authorization, you need to tell all, and that's the only way that this could go well, in my opinion.
Well, once you get the authorization of it, you need to tell all. No.
Yes.
Do you think they're going to go ahead and give whistleblower protections and let the whistleblowers blow the public? No, they want to have a really tight freaking knit situation where if they're going to come in and blow anybody, it's going to be members of Congress in the skiff. That way nobody can be there with a camera to show they're getting blown.
That's right. Even though I think it was going back a few years, didn't we have that video that leaked out where those two guys were having sex in the halls of Congress after hours? It was a big thing that hit the mainstream media, and they got away with it.
Yeah. Nothing like coming in through the back door, Mike. Unless you've been there, you don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they should have cleaned the halls of Congress before it went back into session.
But it was in the same. It was in the same room they had the UFO hearing in just recently. But the curtains weren't drawn, though.
No. Somebody should have been saying, "Hey, what's that smell?" Because it was definitely present in that room.
Can you smell that smell?
Must be getting late.
All right. Oh, so we got a clip here coming from Marin von Rennenkampff. He also admitted that there was a Air Force UAP program operating at a time when the United States government had insisted there wasn't one. See, the disclosure. And he says part of the crime of not being more transparent in UAPs in the past. Daryl, your hand is up first.
No, it's actually Michael's hand.
Michael, you're back.
Yes, he is.
What was the question?
The question, Michael, was the MK Ultra hearings back in 1975 when they had those children who were abducted into the program. What was the country that was heavily involved at that time that came out publicly with the CIA? Do you know? That's what Thomas
said. It was Canada. We're looking for his reaction that Canada was involved with this. Because he's from
Canada, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the answer.
A long time ago.
Well,
yes, sir, it was.
But we will be covering this tomorrow morning at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
I'll read up on it.
10 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, I'll read up on it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, well, they're going to be having another one of those fucking hearings again about this.
And we're covering
and we're going to be covering it. And we're covering it. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be glorious.
It shall be a glorious day to bring forward the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go with the Klingon approach.
Yeah. Good day to die.
All right, let's go ahead and play this clip now.
Wait a minute. I will say something about this that will be interesting to watch about tomorrow. Is if somebody brings up the fact that the CIA went and retrieved all those files from the DNI about MK Ultra and why?
Well, because this all was out publicly 50 years ago. So I think Luna said something about the fact that they had a CIA whistleblower who had recently come forward and revealed that there were all sorts of files that were hidden back from the Congress 50 years ago, and that they were supposed to be coming forward with it now. I think that's what this hearing was supposed to be about. Now, does that mean we're going to get any of those files? Probably not.
No.
But we'll see if they actually, what this is going to be about tomorrow. I'm real curious at this point to see what they come up with.
I'm really curious about something else. Daryl, wasn't there a television show called Beretta? And the guy had a cockatoo, and he drove a Ferrari convertible as well?
No.
Just one where he had that Ferrari convertible he pulled into like his house, and it raised up.
No, you're confusing Beretta with Dan Tanner.
It was Dan
Tanner.
My mind was saying
I can't believe you remember that. Dan
I
Taylor
did
lived in
remember
Vegas, I think, right?
He did, Las Vegas, yes, sir.
And he drove his car into his house. I mean,
And it wasn't a Ferrari; it was a '55 Thunderbird convertible.
There
Classic
you go.
car.
Wow.
Red one. With a wheel in the back.
Tell the bird.
Yeah, the bird's name was Fred. Fred.
Here we go.
The reddest cockatoo was Fred, yeah.
As the former director of national intelligence, I think there have been a lot of theories about UFOs. What do you make of these revelations? What might this be? It does sound like it is, something.
He's got the lower chin of a puppet.
That we haven't seen before. This type of transparency around this topic.
Yes, and I'm not sure why that is. The only
not sure why that is. That's a lie.
Reason for
is that Clapper?
To me,
yeah, that's Clapper. Clap on, clap off the
Clapper. The Clapper.
Classification would be if there's some sensitive method that data relating to so-called UFOs was collected. But other than that, I don't know why we haven't been more transparent about it in the past, and I'm part of that crime, I guess, in my former capacity.
And he would know why they didn't tell about the truth in the past. My God. I don't know why we didn't do this thing in the past. It's a good idea.
And my former capacities were, I didn't insist on more transparency with respect to this issue.
As the former
right, because you were the DNI at the time and you kept the cover-up going.
Yeah. Well. Is he about to tell the story, though, about a friend of his that swore his plane was held up in the middle of the air and didn't go anywhere?
It was in suspended animation.
Talks out of the side of his mouth if that is a ploy of him not telling the truth.
Oh, that he's completely full of shit?
I've never seen him like that, and he's talking about stuff we're singing. He just keeps on, talking out of the side of your mouth. That could be a play. I mean, a tell, like in poker days.
Yep.
It's nothing good, I can tell you that.
Yeah. All right. So, Marik von Rennenkampff is on it again. Recap of Elizondo's earliest verifiable statements regarding UAP retrievals. December 2017, New York Times, metal alloys and other materials recovered from UAP. March 2021, Fox News, United States government has exotic materials. November 21, GQ, USG is in possession of exotic materials associated with UAPs. All right. We got a video clip here? No, just some pictures of Marik von Rennenkampff. God damn it. All right, let's see what else. We got the shit we covered on Danny Sheen. We've got that one. Anna Polina Luna for the win. No.
Get back on the pole, Anna.
Yeah, but she's giving us the hearing tomorrow. All right, so we got our next one. Anna Polina Luna is seeking immunity for whistleblowers. Apparently, she's got whistleblowers coming from, what's that guy's name again in the White House? Steve something? Steve Miller?
Miller, thank you.
Yeah,
Stephen Miller.
All right. Okay, crappy video, second, but it's better than nothing. Let's play it. Here we go, folks. Volume all the way up.
Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna says credible people want the public to know about recovered non-human spacecraft and biologics, but that they are worried about retribution. So she's working to get them immunity.
We know for a fact that there have been a few very credible whistleblowers that we've talked to that allege that they have information specifically pertaining to this, but they're afraid of losing their clearances. So we have talked directly to the White House. Stephen Miller is absolutely incredible on this topic. And we are providing them with a list of people that will be given immunity in that they will not have to face retribution in the future for violation of their security clearance, or in some cases, maybe the Espionage Act, whatever it might be.
Now, former intelligence officer David Grush has been pushing for that immunity for 3 years after testifying under oath that the government has non-human bodies in storage. Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna says credible people.
All right, we got that one done. I just had to change the title card for the show. I had to take Elizabeth Vargas with her neck and put her in forward of everybody else saying, ah!
Yeah.
I'll change the call card shortly. Where else are we going to from this one? All right. Oh, we're getting into a bunch of shit. No. This all my bookmarks? No. We've covered that one. We've covered that one. We've covered that one. We got Ross covered. We've got Ross covered many times. Oh my God, Mike.
Yeah.
Did you realize it was DC Muscle Wolf's birthday the other day?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Including his gold-covered little freaking birthday thing that he's got there. Good for him.
Creme brulee.
I don't know if it's creme brulee because there's no sauce around it. It could be. You never know.
How old did that fuck turn?
Oh boy. You. Okay, hold on. How old do you think he is, Mike, based on that picture?
I don't know, 70s, early 70s?
He's 71 years old.
There we go.
He's older than everybody on this podcast.
Yes, he fucking is.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a clip here from Eric Burleson. I think this is the right one to go ahead and show. Nick sent us something earlier, and I said this is the one. Representative Eric Burleson earlier this week, last week actually, before the House Rules Committee in support of his UAP Disclosure Act amendment to the NDAA. Like, have you heard what else they're going to attach to the NDAA? As of today, from Annapolina Luna, they're going to attach the SAVE Act to the NDAA. Let's see where that goes. Oh, pet the puppy. All right.
Yeah, he loves his belly rubbed.
All right, here we go. Let's get into it.
Amendment 1040.
This is Eric Burleson going ahead and bringing the National Disclosure, the UAPDA into the National Disclosure Authorization Act. Let's see if it passes.
The Amendment 1044. The American people deserve nothing less than full transparency on unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Through President Trump's leadership and initiatives such as the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters, otherwise called PURSUE, the president has signaled the era of secrecy must end. What was once dismissed is now the subject of serious congressional and executive attention. This amendment,
meaning that Congress has been inept and unable to move anything forward with regards to disclosure. They've got PURSUE, but we want to add something to it now. So come on, give us your vote.
Before us, the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon Disclosure Act is a comprehensive...
Don't worry, Ferrari, no matter where you look, you'll never find your balls.
...bill that's in the style of the bill that Congress passed, the JFK Records Release Act. It is built upon that framework that will finally bring accountability. Members of this committee, the UAP information belongs to the American people, and transparency is a simple step towards restoring public trust. For too long, records concerning UAPs have been scattered across agencies, shielded by contractors, or lost to time. The president has changed this. He has championed historic progress toward genuine disclosure, declassification, and transparency. Congress needs to support those measures now. And my amendment does so by strengthening the national collections at the National Archives for one simple reason. We will make the records open source and available for public inspection. This is not optional. It is a direct commitment to it ending fragmented control and giving the American people one clear, trustworthy repository. The amendment before us creates mandatory timelines. Every federal office must identify, organize, and transmit its UAP records within 300 days. No records may be destroyed or altered. Previous disclosed records cannot be reclassified or redacted. This is the kind of decisive action that the American people have demanded. Concrete steps that close loopholes and move us from rhetoric to...
Gotta point it out. The guy in the back looks like he's sleeping. Just pointing it out.
Results. The amendment before us embodies the principle that has been established by this president. It requires agencies to conduct Thorough reviews create identification aids and transmit records with clear documentation of any postponement. From our investigation that we've already conducted, we have found that meaningful transparency requires us to look beyond our traditional government channels. Significant UAP-related information resides with private contractors, specifically the federally funded research and development centers. And this Disclosure Act explicitly includes contractor-held materials and closes the oversight gaps that have frustrated many previous efforts. This amendment creates strong safeguards as well. It establishes an independent UAP Records Review Board, a 9-member body appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate with full subpoena power and access to all records and facilities, and the authority to conduct hearings. Again, the American people deserve the truth, and with this amendment, we can deliver it, and I urge your support for this amendment. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I welcome your questions.
Cut. Why did he cut it at that point? It just seems like it was getting good, and yes, we accept your thing, or no, we don't, but... Hold on. Down the picture of the dear old lady. Hold on.
The amendment...
Can't get it. All right. All right. So you know what? He's trying to bring it out. Mike or Daryl, do you think this is going to pass? Or do you think this is just going to be in the same bullshit we've been dealing with forever?
Well, they're in the meeting to, and Mike probably knows this better than me, they're in the meeting to adopt it, right?
No, well, this is just
not
added
like
to it.
in it.
This isn't a meeting to go ahead and actually move it forward. This is just trying to get it adopted into it. We didn't hear the vote. Yeah. I guess he's just trying to get it out there, get it brought in. Whether or not they get the votes to add this to the NDAA, time will tell. Until then, the president's program reigns supreme.
Right. Yeah, because we seem to be getting more of what they wanted to legislate in the UAPDA that's failed 3 times in a row, heading up for the 4th time to fail. We're already getting that out of the executive branch with the UAP Governance Board, the Science Council, all of these things. And now Luna's talking about getting whistleblower protections. So even without this legislation, we're still getting a lot of what was supposed to be in it directly out of this administration.
Steve Mateo, are you free? Sorry, got to throw that out there. It's a UK thing. He'll get it.
Yeah, he's in the back, I think.
Steve Mateo, is he in the back?
Is he?
Are you free? You should say, I'm free. No. Are you served? It was a great show out of the United Kingdom. I've watched every episode thanks to Gary. But yeah.
Oh, what's the show?
Are you being served?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Exactly.
By the way, you could take one Burleson tie and make 3 RFK Jr. ties. They are both at opposite ends of the spectrum, from narrow skinny tie to big fat tie.
Oh, hell yeah.
The hell is that?
What the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that? God, yeah. Oh, God, that is coming from Matt Ford.
You'll be sorry.
No, it more looks like she heard this clip.
What the hell is even
Not that one. Hold on.
Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals.
Yeah. I'm not sure what Matt's up to on that one. Oh, God, no, we're not going to get into that one. No. All right. Grush recorded an interview with Jake Tapper 2 weeks ago. I tweeted that, okay, let's see what Leslie Keene. Well, this is that interview thing with Leslie Keene and Jordan Flowers. I think he's got something with someone else from the Disclosure Fund. Lester, I think. They could be a couple. You never know.
And last night, David Grush went on Fox and kind of went further than he's ever gone before in terms of describing very specifically that he has seen photographs of crash retrievals. He says crash retrieval photos and everything. Whatever the everything is, we don't know. But he has seen these photographs of recovered vehicles. And he talked about how they changed his worldview. And what was really interesting was he talked about some of the specific types of craft that were in these photographs that he saw, such as lenticular discs and crescent moon-shaped craft and flattened sunfish, egg-shaped craft, boomerangs, all of these things he actually has now acknowledged he witnessed himself with photographs. And he also said that he believes that these photographs will eventually be released by the current administration. So that is very exciting. That certainly will be a major moment if that happens. I just wanted to acknowledge this kind of development because I think it's really interesting. And David is also going on with Jake Tapper on Monday on CNN. So he might have more to say there as well.
Oh God, I could cover this now, but we will need things to cover for tomorrow. Ready, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. So on the Fresh Freedom Podcast, episode 73, featuring UAP Gerb, Professor Avi Loeb, and Harold Putoff drops Tuesday morning, which we will be covering this Tuesday night. Wow, that is one heck of a stand-up number of people, Mike.
Yeah, the Disinformation Podcast.
I mean, Avi
seems
Loeb,
like it'll be.
And last
UAP
night,
Gerb,
David Grush
and Harold Putoff. I mean, Hal Putoff, good guy. We're not going to throw him under the bus with everybody else. No. Forget about that. Is there anything else new we've missing? NASA is working to keep the Swift Observatory from falling back to Earth. What the fuck is even that? Where's that at?
What the hell is even that?
I'm not getting audio on that. What the hell happened?
Tell your doctor.
What the hell is even
The
that?
audience can hear it, apparently. There we go. One more time.
What the hell is even that?
Yes, we've got it now. All right. Coming to us from News Nation, we had a correspondent talking about there's a space telescope getting ready to hit Earth, but apparently we're going to do something to try and protect it. Let's see what they have to say from our friends in News Nation.
This mission, it's scheduled to lift off tomorrow morning from the Marshall Islands, which is way out there in the Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and the Philippines. And for the $30 million job, NASA has tapped the startup Catalyst, which has built what you might describe as a giant remote-controlled space wrench with thrusters. This is a race against time, saving the Swift satellite. This is an aging observatory, which is
You know, Mike, back in 1986, back when I was a senior in high school, my sister Janice was working for TRW, and she was working on something called a space tug. And it was a satellite we were going to put up into orbit that we could go ahead and move around and grab onto other satellites and boost them. Apparently, that never happened.
No.
Would have been helpful.
Doesn't seem like it did.
Yeah.
has been sinking back towards Earth, currently in orbit only about 200 miles up, and October is said to be a point of no return. So Catalyst has engineered and built Link. This is a 3-armed robotic craft about the size of a refrigerator. It's designed to chase and grab the Swift.
Interesting thing about the space tug, it was actually had 4 independent boosters, all controlled by a single 68020 Motorola processor in orbit.
And then push it into a higher, more stable orbit. And according to the company, the mission is high risk, high reward.
Have to throw away a $500 million asset as it burns up. We've gotten to the point where we have robotics, maneuverability, autonomy, to where we can actually make different decisions that were not available even 5 years ago.
Right, we can have people from, all over the world to help us figure out how to get this stuff taken care of. All right. Well, Mike, in other news, not sure why we have this here, but we'll cover it. This sounds interesting as hell. A 31-year-old woman was killed in an alligator attack while swimming with friends in a Florida river. When are they not going to learn? Don't swim where the alligators are. Her boyfriend tried to pull her from the animal's jaws. It's the 3rd alligator attack in Central Florida in the past week. Stay out, away from the alligators. What are you doing?
Tonight, horrific details emerging about a woman killed by an alligator while swimming in a river in Florida. Her friends nearby, and then the deadly crocodile attack at a popular tourist spot. Witnesses say the victim was then pulled right into the ocean. Here's Victor Akendo.
Tonight, horror at a river north of Orlando, Florida.
Somebody got bit by a gator.
A woman swimming with friends attacked by a large alligator. Her boyfriend desperately trying to pry her from its mouth. Officials say the 31-year-old woman from Orlando was swimming in about 3 feet of water on Sunday.
She was bitten on both of her arms.
The woman dying on the way to the hospital. It's the third alligator attack in Central Florida in the last week. A child fishing at a resort was bitten on his hand, and a snorkeler
swimming
was
with alligators. It's simple. They've been here for millions of years, longer than humans.
Mauled at a state park. And in Mexico, authorities say this massive crocodile dragged 28-year-old Irving Mauricio into the sea near the Marriott Puerto Vallarta resort on Friday.
You could
Puerto
see
Vallarta?
the crocodile around
Wait a minute, Puerto Vallarta, wasn't that something from the Love Boat we heard all the time? Let's stop
Yes,
at Puerto
all
Vallarta.
the time.
Yeah. They never talked about the alligators, did they?
No.
Apparently not.
thigh,
No.
and when he would turn, you could see how massive the crocodile was.
Authorities capturing the crocodile. The man was later found dead. In a
Inside.
statement tonight, Marriott saying in part, "We have appropriate signage as well as night patrolling and red flags to indicate caution in the area," adding, "We extend our thoughts to the individual and their loved ones during this difficult time."
Yeah,
David,
all
back
right.
here
So
in Florida,
alligators
official-
are killing more people, and and Ross
They've also
Coulthart is
had a number of-
attacking Disclosure. How about that?
They've also had a number of shark attacks in the
Oh, they
Gulf.
actually had some sharks that were seen off the coast of New York earlier today. There was a swarms of fish, like bait fish, coming around, and they actually had on drone footage 3 hammerheads going ahead, getting in there. All right. Oh, look at this. How about this? A man found a black bear sitting in the front seat of his pickup truck outside Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Is
He
that
chased the
Ross?
bear away.
Is that Ross in his truck?
What?
Is that Ross? Is that his truck? He's driving the bear around that he's always talking about in the room?
The bear in the room? Look at that. He's like, hey, where's the food? I want some sandwiches. Come on. He just wants the fucking food. Show him the food and he'll get out. Apparently he left the door unlocked that let the bear get in there, opened up the other door. Oh, come on, you putz, open the door. Let the bear get out. And he's out. How about that? Easy enough. Nope, he's not out yet. Come on, bear. Is he trying to push him out? No, he's going to try and push him out with the fucking, there you go. Let's bring out the freak. There you go. You pushed him out. You scared him. Oh, poor bear.
Man attacked by bear today.
Yeah.
What?
Well, in some other news, there were some drunk women driving around. This has got to be in Florida. This one's got to be in Florida, folks. Yes, they've had a couple too many drinks out there, but yeah, that's what's going for it. All right. All right. Anything else going on? Yeah, we got some high temperatures happening. Anything else? No. Oh, look at the doggy.
Watch. Why do you do that? Now watch.
That's my dog Moose. He does that. He treats like Luke that way all the time. Nah. But then when he stops petting him, he's like, "Come on, pet me some more." Come on, pet me more. Oh, gotta love dogs. Anything else we're missing? Oh God, no. Please, no. No, nope, nope, nope. I think we about covered everything.
I think we have.
That means, we still have to get up tomorrow morning, Mike.
Oh God, yeah, that you keep
No,
reminding me.
you're 3 hours after me. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yeah, but we're still up now, and it's after 11. to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Lou Elizondo bombshell interview responds to Ross Coulthart's cover-up claims. Ooh.
Yeah.
This is fresh, guys. I'm glad we went through all the videos of the alligators and the dogs to finally get through this. Isn't Twitter great?
Yeah, it is. So what did Lou say?
Well, let's play it. Here we go. Fresh off. Scooby, he didn't tell me this was on Cuomo. I had News Nation paused. You should always tell us.
Pentagon UFO whistleblower Lou Elizondo is the real deal. Okay, he spent years of his life in service, and he has been the tip of the spear in fighting for transparency.
100%.
Now I'm hearing something that I don't understand and I don't like.
He doesn't like Ross.
I've got to talk about it. Investigative journalist Ross Coulthart,
fuck him,
who I also like and respect, and he's been on this show many times with Lou, is now saying something that I don't know if he's just looking for clicks. I mean, he gets plenty.
That's
anyway,
what we said. He's
UAPs,
looking for clicks and views, Mike.
I said that about 1,000 times already, Thomas. Yes, I know.
I'm just trying to get this a little bit bigger.
UFO whistleblower, but I've got to talk about it. Investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who I also like and respect, and he's been on this show many times with Lou, is now saying something that I don't know if he's just looking for clicks. I mean, he gets plenty anyway covering UAPs, but he said this.
That I think Lou needs to be more forthcoming about his past roles. There are people who bitterly resent and don't think it's a good idea that Lou be appointed to a position.
He's talking about fucking UAP Gerb and his little Rob buddy who's part of his reality check. Let's be honest, right, Mike?
No, that's absolutely right. And Gerb doesn't have any of the witnesses to testify that they have worked with Lou in a legacy UAP program. What he does have is a lot of speculation and rumors. That's about it. And Ross, as always, had taken that information and ran with it.
Speculation, innuendo. Let's play more. Here we go.
It's called tabloid journalism.
UAP
Go ahead.
transparency, because they think that he was part of a previous agenda that was essentially to try to control the narrative, to restrict what the public is entitled to know about the UAP disclosure. I've spoken to people in the Legacy Program who knew Lou. Lou, I know a lot of people, and they know you, and I know you can't speak about the role that you've held within the Legacy Program.
Come on, Ross, tell us who those people are and where they're from. If you're calling out Lou, let's bring out some of your sources, please.
Right,
but
back up those claims. But
Lou
no,
Elizondo,
he's not going to do that.
Your response.
Fuck yeah.
Well, look, I think Ross is an excellent investigative journalist. Personally, I like him. I think he's done tremendous work for Disclosure and where we are today in the conversation. I find it interesting that just weeks ago, according to some on social media, I had nothing to do with the UFO program or the Pentagon or ATIP. And now, apparently, I ran everything involving UFOs and the Legacy Program. So I don't know exactly where
Mike,
Ross.
This is the dark Lou. He's got the dark hat on, dark glasses. He's got the fancy coat on.
Yeah, that's right.
That's our man. That's our buddy, Lou Elizondo.
Yes, it is.
That's getting his information. I suspect he has sources. Really, that's not really my concern. I've always had a lot of respect for Ross. For me, any chance I get to talk about disclosure and transparency, look, I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life being forthcoming with the American people about the reality of UAP, UFOs. In fact, one only has to look at my resignation memo for the record that I wrote to Secretary Mattis, James Mattis at the time. I've committed myself to transparency to the degree that I could. It is true that I have a security
that's
clearance
the space. That's the space, Lou, right? Because up till that point, I think Ross would agree with everything you just said until right here. But you were in the Legacy Program. You've never really talked about it. Is that because you can't? And if you can't, do you think it's fair of Ross to say, well, then you still should?
Yeah, well, first of all, I didn't say I was part of the Legacy Program. And let me make this clear too, Chris, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. when you work for the government and you have a security clearance, there's always these statements, we cannot confirm or deny. And people always take that as some sort of implicit yes. But the reality is that's not at all what that means. There are classified programs out there. And if someone were to ask me, Lou, were you part of, Project X with the M1 Abrams tank? Even if I wasn't, if it's a classified program, I would have to say I can't discuss that. In fact, I can't even acknowledge that. And for those of you in your audience that have security clearances, they will relate to that tremendously. And so I think it's important. A lot of times people infer things, especially in the world of social media and where, people like yourself.
Fuck, hold on. Where did this go? Hold on. Hold on. I just had this here a second ago. Sorry, folks. It just fucked up on me. God damn it. I hate X when it does this, Mike.
It'd be annoying, but this was getting really good.
I know. Give me a second. I actually have to go back to the show itself. I have to go back to it and find out where the hell I found this, because I had one button to go ahead and try and bring it up and show it to us. Give me a second. Let me get to your channel. Let me get to go to live. Let me get to go to...
But it.
Where in the fuck did I find this really quick? Dog shit. Give me a second, folks. Sorry about that.
Now, isn't it funny when we were talking about this earlier in the show?
Interstellar. Sorry, this is coming from Interstellar. Hold on. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry I hit a button and didn't realize it. Follow this fucker. People, Interstellar. Let's get to it. Okay, sorry.
UFO
committed. I've not
sorry about
really
that,
my
folks.
concern.
Here we go.
I've always had a lot of
Why is this not showing up here? What the hell? All right, give me a second, folks. Here we go. Sorry. All right, we got it. Almost video full. Here we go.
respect for Ross. For me, any chance I get to talk about disclosure and transparency, look, I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life being forthcoming with the American people about the reality of UAP, UFOs. In fact, one only has to look at my resignation memo, for the record, that I wrote to Secretary Mattis, James Mattis at the time. I've committed myself to transparency to the degree that I could. It is true that I have a security clearance.
So that's the space. That's the space, Lou, right? Because up till that point, I think Ross would agree with everything you just said, until right here. But you were in the Legacy Program. You've never really talked about it. Is that because you can't? And if you can't, do you think it's fair of Ross to say, well, then you still should?
Yeah, well, first of all, I didn't say I was part of the Legacy Program. And let me make this clear too, Chris, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. When you work for the government and you have a security clearance, there's always these statements, we cannot confirm or deny. And people always take that as some sort of implicit yes. But the reality is that's not at all what that means. There are classified programs out there. And if someone were to ask me, Lou, were you part of, Project X with the M1 Abrams tank? Even if I wasn't, if it's a classified program, I would have to say I can't discuss that. In fact, I can't even acknowledge that. And for those of you in your audience that have security clearances, they will relate to that tremendously. And so I think it's important. A lot of times people infer things, especially in the world of social media and where, people like yourself, you might say something that gets taken out of context, or I say something that's getting taken out of context, and all of a sudden it kind of grows legs, if you will, and starts to take on its own life. The truth of the fact is that I've always been very clear. I worked in a program called ATIP. I have committed myself for the last 10 years of my life for truth and transparency to the American public. And at the same time, me being on this program where we're talking about me, Lou Elizondo, instead of disclosure, and I have an opportunity to use this in order to raise awareness about the reality that our government has been involved in this topic for decades, then that's a small price to pay. I'm willing to do that. And by the way, again, for the record, I think Ross is an excellent investigative journalist.
No, I get it. I get it. You're not trashing Ross.
No, he's not trashing Ross, but he's trashing Ross. Good. He needs to be pushed back on like we've been doing all fucking night. Here we go.
Well,
I get it.
Listen,
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. it's funny because you and I were talking about this at the beginning of the show. And the point that I kept making
No, we're talking
was
about
that,
this at 2:00 Pacific time.
Yes,
about
yes,
the situation
yes,
that
yes,
Lou needs
yes.
you brought into it. And I was like, don't worry. Lou knows what's going on. He's going to deal with this. He had his really quiet approach he did on X with Tio, who we're going to have to come and talk about this stuff. UAP Luigi is also known as. But it's great to see Lou tonight on Cuomo fucking addressing these schmucks and the bullshit dialogue they're putting out there. And all they're doing, Mike, is these words and actions that they're taking. These are the guys who are trying to slow disclosure down. Now, Daryl, that would be the survey to have. Is Lou slowing down disclosure, or we got to figure out who these other are, or are the others?
Yeah, or is all this bullshit?
Yeah.
Lou's detractors slowing down disclosure. And while you're working on that, I'm going to finish making a point that was in the middle of making. And that is that you and I talked about this privately. And then when we went on the show tonight and we started covering this early on, when Ross was saying that not only was Lou looking into this as ATIP, but he was also involved with the legacy crash retrieval and reverse engineering, I immediately said, bullshit, because now they're making him in the middle of all of these things, which really doesn't make any sense if you think about it at face value. Either Lou is the one bringing this shit out, as we know he has been doing for going on almost 10 years now, or he was the one secretly running these programs and trying to keep the truth back from the public. But there's no way that he was all of those things at the same time. So it's refreshing that we are now seeing Lou come out with Chris Cuomo and saying the exact same fucking things that you and I are making points about him from the get-go. Why is that? Because we know the truth with Lou. And if these assholes get all sucked into the disinformation and bullshit, rumors and speculation that revolve around out there, it won't work with you or me, because we know the truth about Lou. We know what he's involved in and what he isn't. And that's the points that we were making very early on in the show. And now we're playing it where Lou is coming out and saying the exact same thing. That's my only point, Thomas.
Thomas, I got the poll up there.
Okay.
And good points, Mike, for sure.
Okay, sorry, I had to send a message to Lou. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. Tell him good job with Cuomo.
Well, I said, thanks for your statement on Cuomo. We have your back and have fought against the bullshit for the last 2 hours. Best statement, spot on. Now, before I get to it, we got 10 more seconds left of Lou. Let's see if there's anything else Lou has to say.
And I appreciate you clarifying it. And look, Ross can put meat on the bones of what it is he wants to talk to you about specifically, and you can do it right here if you both want. Thank you for being on, Lou Elizondo.
Absolutely.
We'll talk more. Being on.
There we go.
We'll talk more.
That's Lou.
Yep.
That's the same guy I hung out with 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Trust me, he can say blah, 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 Lou this or Lou that. You know, we learn how to
talk to Lou.
No. We learn how to read people.
Oh,
right?
Well.
Throughout our life, throughout our career and everything.
Yeah.
He
Which
comes
in
across
handy.
as a soldier who's truthful, someone who is there to bring the truth out and wants to bring. No. Hypersonic zoom, boom, boom, boom. No. Lou is, well, above there.
The poll's up, Thomas. It's already got 40
The poll
votes.
is there. Who is slowing down disclosure? Lou Elizondo or his detractors? I could start the sound effects right now, but I didn't turn them on before the show, so our audience is graced on that one. Let's make it a little bit bigger so everybody can say, what do you say, folks? All right, so, okay, Google, set a timer for 2 minutes.
All right. Starting.
Yeah. Can't play that. I can't play the sound effect that goes that. Okay, folks, by that sound effect you're not hearing right now, this means this is your opportunity. Where the fuck did I put the... It's here somewhere. I know I just created it. There it is. All right, folks, this is your opportunity with 47 votes in. We have 1 minute and 38 seconds left to go ahead and vote. This is your chance, and I'm sorry. Daryl, did you know that television set, people watching on their television sets is the #1 people who watch Disclosure Tonight on a regular basis?
They need to pair that with their
I know,
cell
but
phone.
they can't vote in the surveys. That's the problem. They're like
That's what I mean. They need to pair it with their
37%. The next 36% are on their a phone, which can vote. 17% only uses a desktop.
Well, on your desktop you can vote. I voted on my desktop.
Yeah, that's only like 17%. It's a small portion of the audience. So we just have to figure out how we can make this that our people on television land can go ahead and vote.
Everybody has the TV.
If you're watching the show on your TV, technically you should have a phone around. So jump into the show from your phone and vote, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you have a TV, you probably have a phone.
Yeah, jump in and watch it from both places and just vote. Maybe jump into the chat. It's really fun, right?
We'll double your money.
Oh, absolutely. More interesting thing, Daryl, you know that month when we had the stuff with the drones going on?
I seem to remember that, yeah.
Yeah, we grew the audience really large in the whole thing. I was looking at the numbers last night with Mike. Our audience, our audience representation that we have is exactly the same. If I can bring people into this, hold on.
The demographics, Daryl, is what Thomas is telling you.
It's interesting. Let me go ahead and bring up our audience because our audience can appreciate who their friends are and who comes to Disclosure Tonight. Where the fuck is that? Not this. Music there. Hold on, I'll get it there. YouTube Studio, and I have to go to scroll that down, and I have to go to Analytics, and I have to go to Audience. And if I'm just going to share this with the audience. So you know what, our timer did go off, Daryl, for what our audience is saying right now. I have to agree. Who is slowing down Disclosure? Is it Lou Elizondo, who's really working for Disclosure, like Chris Cuomo just came out to go ahead and say that for all of us? It's not that. It's the detractors that are people that are going out to go ahead and demonize Lou, which is just total bullshit on that matter. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, Daryl. Great one. 70 votes. I'll take it. But a 70-30 split, meaning no matter how it went, the audience has chosen a path for us. In that poll.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Yeah, interesting to see Lou pop up at the end of the show. Wish we had it at the start, but you know what? It's a great way to go ahead and say Disclosure is moving forward, friends. There is an opportunity to get there. Irrespective of what what people say or what's going on, no matter how much they go ahead and try and knock down people because of jealousy or petty or just, Firefly. Lou over Ross. Well, yeah, sorry, Super Chat Auto Chat isn't on. Exactly. Lou over Ross. I'd have to agree completely. So it's been one heck of a Monday. Feels like a Friday night for me because I'm on vacation for the next week. Yeah. I don't have to go back to work until like the 6th.
So, yeah, that's good.
Which means we can have the shows, have a fun time, hang out. Hopefully there's things to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have...
But he's a busy guy right now. I get that. We just have to find the right time because there's a lot of things happening. Do you get him now when he comes out and Cuomo says things, or do you get him at the right time? You know what I mean?
We get him after the next drop, maybe, when there's something to talk about.
Well, I say we get him when he gets his involvement in the which, God, that might change things, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Soon, I guess.
We'll figure it out.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, it's been one heck of a great show. Happy Monday, everybody. Let's go ahead.
It's been fun.
We did get some super chats. I want to thank people for going ahead and funding us. It's been a great June. we've been on 4 weeks this month. For the most part, we take Sundays off, but you know what? Perfectly imperfect. Thank you. No message, just super chat. Let me get that up there again. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The Coin 405. Let's get back into, if my mouse can find that screen. Let's get back into interview guest. All right, there we go. Large. The Coin 405 threw out a super chat tonight. Just a small contribution, $10 American. Thank you very much. And Perfect gave us a $2. We appreciate it, my friends. We're a fan-funded program. We appreciate everybody coming out. Happy freaking Monday, Mike. Another 2 hours plus, and let's see where Disclosure goes. But you know what? Disclosure tonight, we hate to say it, we stand behind Lou because
we do.
He's a patriot, but you know what, Mike? I guess that would make us a patriot too.
Well, yeah. It's also the simple fact that, patriot or not, we happen to be close friends with Lou and his wife, Jennifer. And that's the bottom line. We're loyal to our friends, no matter who they may be. And that won't change. So, right.
On that note, thank you for coming out to this episode of Disclosure tonight, everybody. And as we usually say, good night, have a good one, and go back to Party City, where you belong. It's not raining tonight, so we'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.